What up, fam? This is Vic from Cutz Premium Lawn Care here in Conyers, Georgia. I had a subscriber ask me, what do I do in order to stay organized? I'm about to holler at your boy. Hear me out. All right, fam. So I'm just gonna break it down how I do it, how I stay organized real quick. So basically, I use, number one thing is important to me that I use Google Voice. I have already said this before. Google Voice is free. They will give you a number, okay? From that number, it can ring to multiple phones. My wife helps me out with that, but normally I'm the one picking up the phone. And what's so cool about it is that I can always go back to that number if I miss that call. And it's not mixed up with my numbers that's personal. It's going to a number that I know I use strictly for my business. So that's one way of me staying organized. Number two, when I do answer the phone, I already know what I'm going to ask them. I already got it in my head. Basically, I'm going to ask them whether or not they're looking for lawn service, and are they looking for something bi-weekly. Of course, if they say yes, I tell them I can get them a quote, and it will be very fast. And the best way to do it is text me your name, your property address, and email address. Can you text it to this number? That way, I won't keep you on hold. And notice I make it to where people don't want to be left on hold. So I said, so I won't put you on hold. And they go, yeah, we'll send it over. So as soon as they send it over to me, I pretty much get a text message to my phone and an email. Because Google Voice actually will email you your text message. I copy that into Yardbook. So once I copy it into Yardbook, I pretty much go through my rituals and routine, which I showed you on another video, how to come up with your price in Yardbook. Please check that video out. So once I trace it out, I have already developed a catalog for myself. In other words, I've been cutting enough yards to know how much money I want based upon the square feet. And I know typically how much time it's gonna take me and two other guys. So it's a three-man crew. So I know that, and this is some stuff that, guys, you're gonna have to learn this over time. I can't just sit here and tell you, but I can tell you how I came up or what I used to come up with my my category. Basically, I use time and square feet. So if I know it took me 30 minutes to do 10,000 square feet, and I always do a range, because you want to do a range, because when you measuring those properties, you're gonna be off a couple hundred feet. You are. So I do a range. My range is typically about anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 square feet. Real easy. So put my price in, tell them what my price is, and I shoot them an email. And when I shoot them the estimate, I let them know, hey, I'm sending a link where you can put your credit card on file right behind it. I don't hesitate to tell them I take credit card, not cash, check. I take credit card. Not too many people give me pushback. Some old school people, or really older people, they were like, nah, I can't do that. So that's another way I stay organized. I send them the information, and I got a list of people that I've already solicited through that estimate. I don't get them all, because I do not lowball myself. If you're coming into business, you feel like the only way you can get work is to lowball yourself. But guess what? Learn from it, because you're going to spend a lot of time cutting a lot of yards, and you're going to get upset with yourself sometime in mid-June, July, because it's going to be hot as hell, and you don't want to be cutting that yard for that little bit of money. So I just told you how I get my come up with my square feet, my prices for my yards. Told you how I get the cost to me, and how I set it up. Now, just so you know, how do I also stay organized? I got a prep day. I tell my guys this year, hey, we need to get set for the next week. We need to get all this stuff situated. And I got my nephew, he comes in, I pay him to come in and prep everything, put gas in it, gas the trucks, etc., etc. Let me see what else I can say. When it comes to knowing which communities that I want to be in, it's real simple. People who call me, those are the communities I want to be in. That's the cold calls that I get from my leads, and then I'll start putting flyers in that community. I pretty much do that, and I really pretty much want at least 4 yards in that one community. That way when I stop, I can cut 4 yards. It ain't always like that. I'm not there yet. So hopefully, I'm trying to keep it real with you guys. I'm only in my 3rd year of business. Now, of course, if you're asking me, someone who said, well, how do you get your workers? I use Indeed. Indeed works for me. When I set it up, my wife did it for me. They call me, and sometimes they just call me off my truck, the trailer. And I said, look, if you're interested, I'll shoot me an email and I'll save it. And I went through 2 guys already. I'm on to my 3rd guy about to go through. And it's okay, because at the end of the day, I need somebody who can hold a weed eater. I got guys who can do mowers, you know, and I need to train them on how to do the truck. So I'm trying to figure out. I always send out text messages to my clients before I cut their yards the night before. What did I do? Yard book again. I use the bulk text. That means you have to pay prescription to use this one. It's like $35 a month, and it's worth it. You know, I use that, and I also use the it's called Quick Batch. That's on Yard Book. Quick Batch pretty much let all of your properties populate on the map, and you can I guess you can copy part of the section and it'll make a list for you, so I know how close my properties are in the vicinities. And I tell my clients or the customers who come in, I tell them, listen, in order for me to cut your yard, I will try to cut it as soon as possible. So you have 2 options. I cut as soon as possible. Now, if your day fall on the following week that we cut in that location, we're going to cut your yard again in a short week. Or if you can wait until we come in your area, I prefer that you wait. And most of them say, well, I'll wait till you come in my community, because I am not trying. This is not Pizza Hut. I'm not delivering pizza. I can't go back and forth across town cutting people's yards. You have to understand that in order to keep my prices affordable, I have to cut the yards that's closest, and I can't be driving back and forth. So that's for some of my clients. And another thing, man, I learned why it's important to cut certain yards a certain way. So that's another strategy or system. I think of things that makes my business work efficiently when it comes to a system of even cutting a yard. Because, man, even today, I don't want us to just go through the motion. It's an idea of what it is that I want done. So I do sit around, and I don't know if I'm like average people, but sometimes, man, I'll be driving down the street and I look at a yard and I'm imagining how I would cut it. I guess that's just how it is for me. Hopefully I explained to how I stay organized, fam. And one of the things I'm going to tell you right now, I can't cut all this grass by myself. You need help. If you out here cutting it all by yourself and you getting in, man, that's good money for you, but you can't do this long term. You can't do it long term by yourself. So it all depends on what you're trying to do. Myself, I'm not trying to cut this grass by myself. I'm not trying to cut this grass, period, to be honest with you. I want to develop a system to where I can hire guys, I can train them, and they can do what I'm doing right now. Of course, they're not going to do it better than me because it's mine. But I could train them enough to where they understand what it is that we're trying to do. So you got to develop a system for that. Whew, I know I said a lot. Hopefully this come across where people understand that this business is a business. This ain't just going out here cutting grass. You won't last long. You will not last long. So hopefully, fam, you understand this is how I do it. I got my wife helping me out with the phone calls. I got workers that work with me, and I do the sales. That's what I do. I know how to sell, and I'm really good at it. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by good at. I'm confident that this is the price. And do I bend sometimes? Yes, I do. But most of the time, price is what it is. All right, y'all. Cut on, lawn care family. Cut on. I'm cutting out. Peace.